Callaway have introduced two new Apex irons, Apex 19 and Apex Pro. I've got to say these irons look delicious. I'm going to test them on GCQuad before taking them out on the golf course to give you my full review. Hi guys, I'm Rick Shields, PGA Golf Professional. If you're new to my YouTube channel, welcome. Smash that subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, hit that like. Leave me a comment down below. What do you think of the Callaway Apex irons? If you enjoy the video, share it around via text message, social media or WhatsApp. Tell your friends about the review. So the Callaway Apex lineup is typically aimed at your better player. The player who wants maximum feel, wants consistent distances and not looking to hit the ball a ridiculously long way. And it's the same with the new Apex 19s. You've got two irons. You've got the Apex and you've got the Apex Pro. Apex is slightly chunkier, slightly bigger version with stronger lofts. And then the Apex Pro is a much smaller profile head with a slightly weaker loft. And for this review, I'm going to test the Apex Pro because it's the iron that's typically going to suit me most. So Callaway claiming they've made the Apex feel even better, and they've used the technology that they used in a Rogue iron, which is a distance iron. And they're infusing in the forging process urethane microspheres. Easy for me to say. I don't know how that's going to improve the performance and the feel, but we'll see if that's actually the case, see if I get any feedback, whether they feel any better than the previous models. Now Apex also feature 360 face cup technology, which is a way of keeping the ball speed hot across the face, certainly on low strikes as well. And they're using tungsten in the weighting of the club head to be able to pinpoint more accurately the center of gravity for each club. Therefore, they're claiming you're going to get better distance control and better trajectory. These irons are very much inspired by tour pros, so the shaping of the irons has been influenced by the best players in the world. And I've got to say, they look delicious. And they really do. The lines, the contouring, the fact that there's next to no offset. The forged Apex Pro has this kind of shiny chrome finish where the Apex has the brushed chrome finish. I just think they look great. They're very simplistic. Not much going on. You've got the silver, the black text, the bold black number underneath. A bit of an odd one with the Apex Pro that's almost like a full stop mark under the number. I'm not quite sure why that is, but they look great. Price-wise, they are expensive. You're looking for a set of 7 irons, regardless whether it's the Apex or the Apex Pro. In the UK, you're looking at £1,300. And in the US, you're looking at $1,400. That's for a set of 7 irons. So definitely high on the price spectrum. Let's test them on GCQuad. See what distances I'm getting from the irons. I'm not expecting massive distances because, again, the lofts are weaker. For the 7 iron, it's 33 degrees of loft. 9 iron is 41 degrees of loft. And the 5 iron is 26 degrees, where the Apex is a little bit stronger. But as I mentioned, I'm going to stick with the Apex Pro. Let's see how far they go, see how they perform, and then get them out on the golf course. Okay, so all of the indoor testing carried out on GCQuad with Pro V1s, and the distances I was getting from the irons pretty much married up to the loft. So for me, the 7 iron, 33 degrees of loft, I was carrying the golf ball 168 yards. Gotta say the feel off the face is great when I hit them well, and certainly the height was really impressive as well. For me, the carry distance for the 5 iron was 195 yards, and with that loft of 26 degrees, it's kind of what I expect. And then the 9 iron was carrying 145 yards, really good flight, good feels. I noticed on off-centered hits, I got punished, and you'd expect that with a smaller head design, but the strikes off-center still felt good and just lost distance when I was testing it on indoor numbers. Let's get it out on the golf course to see how the Apex Pro get on some real grass. So one of the shots you definitely need to be able to play with a player's club is a little knockdown shot, not full power, like a half swing. Bring the flight down, see if I can get it close to that flag. This is a 9-iron from 115 yards. Yeah, does the job. Something I always like about a slightly more bladed club is that you can manipulate a shot like this. This is a bunker shot. I'd probably need wedge to get up over the lip, but I need 9-iron distance. So I'm going to open the face of the 9 and see if I can get it up there. I feel confident because there's enough loft on this Apex Pro. Yeah, it kind of does what I want it to do. You want a club with a bit of blade to be able to open it up and play different types of shots. Okay, well I've got a chance here. I'm going to hit both of the 7-irons in Apex and Apex Pro. I think there's much of a difference. I'll hit Apex Pro first. Yeah, for me that's everything that I want from an iron. The feel, the sound, the response, the look behind the ball. It's a solid 9 out of 10. We go Apex. A little bit chunkier, a little bit more offset, a little bit stronger lofted. And just on first reactions, that's definitely like it's gone a bit further, but for me, sound is louder, feel isn't as soft. So kind of 7, 7.5 out of 10. I much prefer the Apex Pro. So I'm going to try a shot here with the 5-iron. I'm on a bare lie. I'm going to try and punch it under the trees to get back into play. Again, a shot that this club needs to have in its locker. That was class. One of the shots I like to be able to play on the golf course, and certainly in the test, is a little bump and run, delicate shot. I'm going to go with a 7-iron here with the Apex Pro. Kind of requires a bit of finesse and control. You don't want a club that's got too much power, and this hasn't got that. So I should be able to play this, little back of the stance, bump it forward, and get it close. I like that with clubs that are kind of a little bit more streamlined, a little bit smaller head. It doesn't feel like it's going to come off really hot off the face. I feel like I've got control and I could play that with a little bit more height if needed and lower as well. I like that with irons. Okay, so that is testing on the course done with the Callaway Apex Pros. I've got to say I'm a big fan. I really like the feel is the first thing that I notice when I hit the shots. It has that kind of forged feeling, obviously soft feeling, but it's very satisfying. They're not the most forgiving golf clubs. The off-centered hits do get punished, as you would imagine. The Apex would be a little bit more suited to off-centered hits, but still it's not on the category of ultimate forgiveness. For me, it hit a lot of criteria. The distances weren't too maximised, they were good, solid distances and consistent distances, which is something you want in a better player's iron. I think they look absolutely stunning and they do everything I want them to do. High shots, low shots, bump and run shots. You can kind of be creative with it, fade it, draw it. You can pretty much get the golf ball to do, to a certain degree, as much as you want the golf ball to do with these clubs. On the negative sides, one is the price. You know, the £1,300, £400, it's really expensive. Sits in that same category of the TaylorMade P760s, where they're just, for me, they're just too expensive. Bar that, they're very good. I really like everything that kind of club has to offer. I just feel like the price is £400–500 too much for a set of 7 irons. You've got the Apex Pro and the Apex, both very solid golf clubs. I personally prefer the Apex Pro, and I must admit, they are high on the agenda for maybe making it into my golf bag. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned, lots more to come. We'll see you next time.